back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. I hope you've had a great day thus far. And yeah, we're going to wrap this video uploading day with none other than Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. So we're talking all about them in this video. Yeah, so now we all know that there is definitely a huge connection going on with many celebrities in the hugely advertised, publicized really is the word, I should say advertised, publicized, Diddy scandal and all the situations associated with that and his legal issues. And one of the very closely connected elements of his situation is so many people have now been either mentioned about or feel that there's connection towards any and all things associated with that particular said scandal. So of course all things are alleged because we don't have any final, announcement of results, if you will, because it's going to be an announcement, boy, it's going to be an announcement. And when exactly that's going to happen, don't know. I am aware that apparently they're going to start the trial in May of 2025. So, usually that's within 2 months or so, maybe even less. That's the time frame that then at some point we should be able to get to resolve, I guess by next summer at the earliest, maybe the latest, whatever the case, however that wraps up. Nevertheless, I actually did a video a couple of days ago, a couple of uploads ago, something like that, where I had shared some things that were going on currently with Al B. Shore, which is an individual who is somewhat, within the proximity of Diddy and all the things that are going on, considering, for multiple reasons. One, that he was with Kim Porter. Two, Quincy is his biological son. And three, well, they have a long history together. Now, I have not done a lot of deep dives into Diddy's situation because there's quite a few YouTube channels that are doing a really good job of covering everything moment to moment. So I'm pretty sure you're probably watching those. And so therefore I haven't really done a lot of that deep dive for that particular topic area here on this channel. However, there are different aspects surrounding and that may be involved, that may be not involved, maybe assumed to be involved in this whole entire debacle that I find intriguing. And I do like to take a moment at times to kind of explore those aspects. Now, one thing that's been going around for the last few days or so is that it appears that, one, that Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, hightailed it to Italy or something like that. And there was some thoughts that there was some association, with the whole white parties and stuff, and the Diddy parties, that is, and what that may mean for while he's done just that. Now, I don't know, whether or not he is or isn't involved or whatever the case may be. I know there's been a lot of conversation about buying back tapes and stuff like that. So, we're going to see, because all things do come to light. They do all come to light. That being said, another prolific individual who we hear a lot about lately is Ashton Kutcher and, of course, Mila Kunis. Now, if you may be familiar with this couple, I don't know how you wouldn't be, because they've been around for a long time and in the pop culture scene for quite some time. Now, we do know that publicly, Mila and Ashton were basically received a lot of backlash for showing support for Danny Masterson, which is someone who has been convicted of R-ing, and I think he got like 30 years. And so when it got out to the public, however it got out, whether leaked or whatever the case may be, I don't remember how it came about, but it was basically shared to everybody that they were basically, it would appear to be like begging the judge for mercy for him, considering that he had just been convicted of some really heinous things. So that did not bode well for people, and it didn't bode well for whatever committee that he was in that has something to do with the violence against women and trying to, go against that way of being, that he had stepped down from that board. I don't remember the name of the board, really neither here or there, but it just did not align with that type of support that they were given. Now, according to both of them, I guess Danny Masterson was a very long time friend. And so therefore, I guess they felt the need to do that. I don't know, but it did not go well for them. And then they kind of dipped out of sight for a while. Now they're resurfacing. But not just resurfacing in sight, they're also now resurfacing as possible connections to the Diddy scandal, which you're going to probably hear a lot of celebrities that may be affiliated one way or another. That's why I say proximity to them, whether it be going to their white parties, staying for the other parties, or just any other types of things, or whether they may have had knowledge here or there. So we're going to discuss or share some information in regards, or I'll be sharing it with you and talking with you and giving my thoughts and my opinions, and definitely want to know yours respectfully down below. Let's have a conversation about it. So the things that we're going to cover here in this video is Ashton and Mila, potentially Mila moving out of the home as things have started ramping up about possible connections, just their name being associated with the situation is a problem. So that's one aspect we're looking at. Another aspect we're looking at is apparently it's the sharing is letting us know that he being Ashton Kutcher is no longer a targeted element in the Diddy scandal situation. So we'll take a look at that and explore that a little bit. And then lastly, we're going to go and take a look at what possibly may be that they are looking to move abroad, go overseas, leave the country. You know, I think, and I wonder with all of the things, even just with the Danny Masterson situation, if their careers in Hollywood as it had stood was over, were there going to be movie roles and opportunities, TV shows, back producing, other kind of committees be associated? Would those days be over? Now, it doesn't seem like it's going well for them in that department. So that was bad enough. And now if you're associated with the situation and the salaciousness of what's going on with Diddy, all things alleged, of course, but it is what it is. You're seeing what you're seeing. So if those things are true, then it's a wrap, right? So we'll just have to see how this unfolds. I'm going to be watching, just like I'm sure all of you are that are watching. And, it's a riveted play-by-play, moment to moment about what's going on. Every few days, it seems like we're getting some information in regards to the Diddy scandal. At one point, it was almost every single day, maybe multiple times in a day. So as you know, Diddy is right now incarcerated and awaiting a trial. He has been up for 2-3 different bail hearing opportunities. They all been denied. I think the last one is being appealed, so they're waiting for that appeal to that. He may or may not have had to go another round in regards to speaking why they should allow him to release. The last one I know was like a few days ago. So yeah, we'll probably hear more about that as it comes about, because like I said, that information has been on the fast track to getting out to everybody. So this is going to be one of those cases and trials that everybody's going to be watching. So that being said, there are going to be some verbiages I'm going to be changing a little bit because of the nature of some of the things I'm going to be sharing. So, of course, I want to keep that YouTube friendly. So I just want to share that with you and let you know. Of course, I will leave the information as far as the sourced articles down in the, what is that called? The description box area. So that way you take a look further if you wish to do so. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first sharing, which I believe we're going to be talking about possibly that Mila could have moved out. Not 100% sure, but let's go ahead and see for ourselves. Now, according to the nerdstash.com, says Mila Kunis moved out as information about Ashton Kutcher and Diddy allegedly set to leak, doing damage control. Now, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher have been under fire as of late. Not only did they cause controversy when they wrote letters defending their friend Danny Masterson, who was convicted of SA, they have also been linked to Diddy, who was recently arrested for trafficking. Rumors are flying that Kutcher may be connected to the drama in some way after old clips resurfaced of him talking about his wild former partying days. A blind item by Crazy Days and Nights claims that one celebrity couple is being torn apart by the scandal and that Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are at the center of the drama. Now, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher being torn apart by Diddy scandal? Well, the current wife of this former A-list, mostly television actor from multiple hit shows, has moved into a different property they own, and this is according to this blind item. She wants distance when the videos including him start to leak, the blind item reads. Meanwhile, online, it's clear to fans that Ashton and Mila are the source of the gossip. Mila Kunis has allegedly moved out of the home she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she is aware of the fact that the horrible information about Ashton and Diddy together, as well as video footage of the two of them together, is about to be released. One TikTok video claims. Now, the TikTok video goes on to say that Kunis wants to distance herself from Kutcher as these allegations and rumors play out. She may be looking to save her kids from any public embarrassment. In addition, she may fear for her career amid the scandal. However, neither actor has publicly spoken out about Diddy's arrest. She's just trying to do damage control. She knew the whole time, one person commented. I think this is just a rumor. No confirmation of any of this, a second person pointed out. The house of cards come tumbling down, a third comment said. I pray this isn't true, said another fan. For now, nothing has been confirmed about Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's marriage. In addition, the nature of Kutcher's involvement with Diddy and his parties is unclear. However, many in Hollywood are now falling under the umbrella of suspicion as information continues to leak about the rapper's criminal deeds. Alleged, of course. So, yeah, there you have it. That's what's being talked about at this point. They're wondering if maybe some space is being asked from Mila to Ashton as things unfold, because there's so much out there. So many people are probably reevaluating their participation or non-participation, where they were, how they have been, what is going on. This has been, the span of time for these actions have been going on for almost 30 years. So, if you went to a party, you're going to be wondering, hey, did I go to that party? Did I do this? Did I do that? Was I there? Did I see anything? That kind of thing. It's on the tapes, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of that going on right now. And of course, everybody wants to make sure that, they are seen in their appropriate light. So we'll see how all that goes, because again, all things are alleged. So let's go ahead and move into the actual relationship about Diddy and Ashton, but more to the point that apparently he may not no longer be a target in this case. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now, according to page6.com, Ashton Kutcher not a target of feds. Sean Diddy Combs probe, despite saying he's got a lot he can tell. This is what was being reported. Now, Ashton Kutcher apparently at this time can relax. The actor is not a target of federal agents' investigation into Sean Diddy Combs, TMZ had reported this past Friday. Now, this narrative has got to stop. Ashton has nothing to do with this, one source alleged to the outlet. Zero involvement, zero knowledge of Combs' activities. Now, Ashton Kutcher is reportedly not a target in the federal investigation that was alleged in the Diddy crimes. The insider continued, Ashton, like everyone else in Hollywood, attended a Diddy party 20 years ago. Wow, such a long time, isn't it? Combs' infamous soirees have been under scrutiny since the rapper was arrested in September and hit with trafficking, racketeering, and hanging out in the night charges. Kutcher, who threw a white party with the embattled music mogul in 2009, made headlines last month when his Hot Ones interview had resurfaced. Now, as again, it just references that Combs was arrested last month, which we all famously know. Basically also says that a 2019 interview, Kutcher talking about Combs' infamous party subsequently had resurfaced. So I saw that video as well, or at least heard the clips, the narrative associated with it. And, don't know exactly what he was referencing or not, but the fact is that it got out there that, there's a lot that goes on, a lot that he could share about it. And of course, sometimes inquiring minds want to know, right? So now when host Sean Evans asked that 70 Shows alum about Combs' gatherings in 2019, Kutcher played coy. I've got a lot I can tell, he said, so can't tell that one either. I'm actually cycling through them. I'm sure he's running through his Rolodex in his mind, right? Diddy party stories, man, that was some weird memory lane thing. See what that comes up. Maybe we'll never will know. Now, Kutcher did, however, elaborate on their bizarre relationship. He went on to describe how he and Combs became fast friends. Now, that's according to the New York Post. Now, the duo became fast friends after Combs forbid the punked host from pranking him, although Kutcher insisted everybody is on the table. You remember that show called Prank? And it was so many years ago, but it ran for a long time. And it was basically Ashton Kutcher being a celebrity punking other celebrities. And there was a lot of funny moments in those shows. A lot of celebrities that we know today and from past were on that show. And I don't know if he just did celebrities, but I know there was quite a bit of them. Now, TMZ had reported this past Friday also that the ranch alum is regretting his association with Combs. Now, Texas-based attorney Tony Busby is currently representing more than 100 victims, 25 of whom are minors, in SA cases against the songwriter. Now, it does also just reiterate that the duo did throw a white party together in 2009, and that Kutcher and wife Mila Kunis found themselves under fire last year, which we talked about that. And that was according to a Danny Masterson situation. Now, on Tuesday, the lawyer claimed that the public will be shocked by his list of alleged perpetrators and bystanders in Combs' alleged crimes. And that's what I'm, waiting for myself. I think that is going to be very much a shocking thing. Now, I'm not one, I like to talk about the celebrities and, because they give a great conversation to have around, some of the things that take place and how you can relate them to the do's and don'ts in your own life. They give good, pictorial type of content for that. But yeah, look, I'm waiting on that list too, if we ever will get to see that. Now, we will expose the enablers, he says, who enabled this content behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. Now, Combs has continued to deny any wrongdoing via his legal team. Now, last year, Kutcher and his wife, Mila, were slammed for the letter they wrote supporting convicted artist Danny Masterson's character. Because remember those character letters, what it was. They wrote in the letter in 2023 supporting convicted Danny Masterson, and the couple have been married since 2015. Now, the 2.5 Men alum subsequently resigned from Thorn. Now, this was an anti-S trafficking organization he had helped create in 2009. So go figure that, you're supporting this individual, but yet you're on a board. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the economy is rich there, isn't it? But then, sometimes things happen in plain sight. Now, Kutcher met both Masterson 48 and Kunis 41 while filming that 70s show, which was a very popular show if you are not familiar with it. But he did not begin dating his wife until years after the series had wrapped. The couple who tied the knot in 2015 are the parents of daughter Wyatt, 10 and 7, Dimitri. And of course, the Sharon wants to let everyone know, which I think this is very responsible, that if you or someone you know is affected by any of the issues raised in this story, call the SA hotline at 1-800-330-0226. I will definitely leave that in the description area below as well, if that is something that you would want to check out for yourself or anyone that you may know, or pass on to anyone that you may know. So that being said, there was a point I wanted to make in regards to this situation, because it's very I don't want to say mind-boggling, because it is on its face, but it's just kind of goes to that old trope of things, and where people think that, here's this horrible individual, right? This being Danny Masterson. He was convicted of those crimes. He's in jail for 30 years, I believe, and that's that. So therefore, he did it. So that being said, here they've been friends with Ashton. Ashton is on a board that is supposed to do good and help for good in these type of areas, but yet you support an individual who's been convicted of these crimes and try to give a character statement to it. So it lends itself to sometimes when people say, hey, well, they were friends, so therefore that means that we negate everything that they could have ever done. Two things can be the same, right? Two things can be present at the same time, in the sense that you can have someone who's a loved one or someone that you cherish as a friend who do really good by you, doesn't do anything to your kids, doesn't have any things that are against you in any kind of way in this matter, and then turn around and be a complete monster on the other side. This is not something that's new. This has been going on for eons, since the beginning of time, right? You can have people who have different masks. You can have people who share different images. One being like, look, if you're a person who is, intents purposes, a monster for society, a pariah, someone who basically is just like a cancer onto society, right? Who is just really running amok and ruining people's lives, right? You can have that kind of an entity. Now, this is far apart from this situation. It's just an example of someone like that. Y'all can be familiar with people like that. That's why they have Dateline, Snapped, 48 Hours, all kinds of shows that you can see examples if you don't know anything in real life, and I pray that you don't. But that being said, so they could be a complete monster on he or she on one side, but then be with certain entities and be the loveliest people, the most kindest people. The B2K person is one person that comes to mind for that. Living double, maybe even triple lives. So just because someone may be sweet and cuddly and all that wonderful to you, doesn't mean that they could not be this side if there's evidence that leads to that, right? Also being the same that there has to be an image stated. If they're a monster every single body, then how could they get away with doing certain things for so long? So if they're not captivating you in a real way that makes you feel like, oh, this is a great person, they would never do anything like that, they never did anything to us, well, how could they keep up all that monstrous activity, especially if you're someone who sees that and says, you know what, that is wrong and I don't want any parts of that. And who is the person I need to call to get this person off the streets? You're going to feel that way for the most part, right? If you are feeling that way, you're not going to want to see those things. So of course they know that they're not going to be able to do the things in the dark if they're acting like that in the light. So that is, one of those things that when I was troubled myself when I heard about the character. What it's now, I liked Mila Kunis in some of her movies that she did, and popular demand, I guess, and popular criticism. I like Jupiter Rising. I thought it was a great movie. It was different, and I like stuff that's that intergalactic stuff. It's kind of cool. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So I really liked her. I liked her in the movie Ted, and there's a lot of different things, Bad Moms, all those kind of things. She was great. So for me to see that, and as a person now, of course, celebrity is a celebrity. I don't really care, but to like and enjoy her art, her work, her movies, or whatnot. Now that's someone I may not be able to watch any movies about, because now I know that this is what you represent. This is what you want to support as a character. Like, what? But, it also goes into time where people may say, well, look, certain individuals like family members will never turn on, other family members when they do something that's illegal. Well, there was actually a change to that for a particular group of people. Apparently, there were some teenage kids, and tell me if you know about this. I want to say it was something in LA, and they were doing that smash and grab stuff. Well, their parents actually turned them in. What? Yeah, they turned them in. Most of the time you have family like, well, you know what? We're not going to say anything. We were going to defend you to the end. But two things can be the same or be, accurate at the same time. I can love you and you could be doing these things. I can't support you in this, but I can support you in my love. But that doesn't mean that you should escape accountability for the things that you do just because we have a relationship. That's ridiculous. This is the point where the empathy should kick in, right? Now, of course, that can be, difficult and challenging. And I'm pretty sure it was difficult and challenging for those parents to turn their kids in, but they did. And, I've heard a little bit about it and I haven't heard much about it. I'm going to keep up on it and see what's going on with that, because I thought, wow, they actually turned them in. They said, no, they all get round up. They're all going to see the accountability. So, and it's a real thing. Sometimes people have to be shown what can happen consequentially. So that being said, I would love to know your thoughts on that. And just what do you think about Ashton no longer being a target for this particular situation? Do you think that's going to last? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, everything is alleged and assumed because we don't 100% know. And we'll have to see how things continue to unfold, especially when that trial gets started, and even subsequently what happens after the trial. Because, oh boy, this year has been the year of accountability, right? Or revealing, okay? If you don't feel that accountability is accurate for the person, it's definitely been a thing of revealing. And then I kind of feel like next year is going to be a punisher for a lot of people. And it may get a little ugly. If it stays quiet, I'll be surprised, but it just may get a little ugly. So we're just going to, keep them seatbelts on because you don't need them. All right, so let's get on to the next sharing, which we're going to be talking about the potential of Ashton and Mila looking at, maybe relocating abroad. Now, if there is no issues and no concerns in regards to being targeted in this situation, what would be the reason to uproot your life? Maybe there's other things that they would be concerned with, or maybe they just think, it's time for us to take a bit of a break. I don't know how their careers are going. I don't know if there's projects and things in the work that are no longer being offered to them. I'm not really sure. I know that they, everybody has sometimes something behind the scenes. I think they had some kind of a liquor or something like that. I don't know if it was a brandy or something like that, whiskey, brandy, something like that, that they had. I don't know if they still have that. So they will have other interests, obviously, and other investments, which is always a smart thing to do. But whether or not they'll be forward facing anymore, that will be yet to remain to be seen. But again, all things alleged. So let's go ahead and go into the next sharing, which is talking a bit about that. So now this is going to be, according to Times of India and .indiatimes.com. So I was like, wow, this is really getting all over the place, right? So of course, everything is all alleged. So we are going to get into the sharing of what they're saying here. So let's see, I want to make sure. Yes, good. All right. So now, according to what I just said, it'll be down in the description box also. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are considering leaving Hollywood amid Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and fallout report. Now, the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are considering moving to Europe to escape negative publicity due to past associations with Diddy after his recent arrest. They believe raising their children, make that a little bit harder. Away from Hollywood's superficiality is best, but business commitments are delaying their decision. Now, says music mogul Sean Diddy Combs' arrest has not affected his life, but also that of many other Hollywood celebs who have been friends with the rapper and a common face at his parties. Latest reports suggest that to avoid the backlash of Combs' legal proceedings to reach their doorsteps, celebrity couple Ashton and Mila have decided to leave Hollywood for good and settle in Europe. So that will be yet to remain to be seen if that actually takes place. Now, it further says that Ashton's so exasperated that once again he's being dragged through the mud because of his past associations. First, it was Danny Masterson, and now it's Diddy. And it's got him convinced that there are way better places out there to live than Hollywood. In this view, the town is just a cesspool at this point, an insider told In Touch Weekly magazine. Now, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in September, as we all know, this year on the alleged allegations of sex trafficking and more. Reports suggest that he used his infamous parties packed with several Hollywood stars to run his racket. Now, Ashton and Mila were also the attendees at such parties, and thus now they want to stay as far from the negative publicity as possible. Now, the source said that Ashton and Mila believe that since they had such a great time in Europe, moving there is an idea. Now, that must be where they dipped out for a while after the Danny Masterson situation. They figured that would be such a great place to live and raise their kids with a much more grounded lifestyle. The bottom line is they want to take the kids out of Hollywood and raise them somewhere more rural and away from all the superficiality and backbiting. They've just had it with Hollywood, and just going up to Montecito isn't enough of a clean break. They'd like to get much further away, explained the source. Now, however, amid all of this, all that is stopping the couple from moving away from Hollywood is their business and certain business investments. And I did share about that. And that was just one of probably many things that they are involved with. On the work front, Ashton's previous outing was with the film Your Place or Mine. So apparently they're still in the filming situation here. So that'll be interesting. So that is basically what it shares about that sharing. And let me just close that out for a second. All right. Yeah, there might have been a little bit of a delay there, so I apologize if you saw that, but sometimes connectivity is just a pain, and it's going to be windy, and sometimes that affects the connectivity as well. So we'll go with that. So I think that covered that, but it might have been a little bit of a sticky point there, but hopefully you were still able to hear everything. So that being said, again, that sharing is saying that, hey, they're looking at a possibility of moving out to Europe because things are just getting a little too hot out here. And, you know, there is alleged conversation that's alleged that Leonardo DiCaprio's done the same thing and took his girlfriend with him. So, you know, we'll have to see how these certain titans in the industry, how they're going to actually evolve to the new way of life now with these types of actions that have taken place, because quite frankly, it has been a bit of a roller coaster and is just getting started. Now, of course, all things are alleged, but we definitely are going to be keeping our eyes peeled to see the point blank thing. Sometimes it be that way. It's morning time. Hello. But yeah, you know, so we'll just have to see how this all works out. But I would love to know your thoughts. Do you think that that's going to end up happening, that they are going to probably taking off? Do you foresee other celebrities doing the same thing under questionable circumstances? You know, what are your thoughts about that? Definitely leave those respectfully down below in the comment section. We can have a conversation about it, because I definitely want to know how you feel. Do you think that that he will no longer be a target? How do you feel about that? You know, just because somebody went to, as I heard, maybe a certain time of the party didn't mean that they didn't stay for the other stuff. Maybe there's some things that they don't know. Maybe some things are very much rumor based. You know how things go. You know how that telephone line goes, where, you know, somebody might say something and they go to someplace else. But here's the deal. There's a lot of names coming out around this scandal. And I actually may be doing a video just to kind of recap a little bit about that. And we'll just see how those individuals, you know, stack up in the situation. If it is just rumor based, alleged based, or if it will become something. But no one knows until we get those results. So that being said, I thank you so much for being here. I hope that you did appreciate the video. And of course, if you did, please give it a like. I would appreciate that. And of course, if you are new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, be part of the family. I would so love to have you. And quite frankly, I just appreciate the viewing and listening support from all of you. So thank you so much for being here. Definitely keep your all notification bells on. Yes. So that way you can not miss an upload, because I have many more videos coming down the pike, and I definitely want to get your thoughts about those as well. Also, remember, I've got 2 other videos that popped up on the platform earlier today, so make sure that you take some time to peek those out as well and leave your thoughtful commentary down below, and let's have a conversation about it. So again, I appreciate you being here. You take care and be blessed, and until next time, bye.